Yep, I'm in the boomer chair. You guys know what's coming, right? So last month we did that video on the $5,600 taillight repair on that Ford F-150. Technology run amok. Thousands of comments on that, and you all agreed with me, right? And at that point, I said to myself, you know, that's really absurd, but I can't imagine it getting much more absurd than that. But then it happened. Then this came to my attention. And I guess I've been living under a rock for the last like 20 years. I put myself under that rock 20 years ago because I saw how things were going. I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. But man, now that I'm like looking around at the world of modern cars and how things have evolved, it's just one mind-blowing thing after another. But I found the thing, I know some of you guys are already aware of this because it's been making its rounds. I found the thing that blows the $5,600 taillight repair right out of the water. I found the $40,000 dent. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this. You guys are familiar with the Rivian. You know the Rivian, the pickup truck, the SUV that they have, right? Startup company, American-based, and I hate to say negative things about an American-based car company, but you know what? Absurd is absurd, ridiculous is ridiculous. Okay, $40,000 debt. So it's just crazy, but it's true. It's true. All right, the $40,000 debt. I can't even say this with a straight face. The $40,000 debt. All right. So Rivian designs this pickup truck, right? Pickup truck. Now, pickup truck, remember, pickup truck, this is something you work with, right? And pickup trucks have traditionally, since the beginning of the pickup truck has always been designed as a work vehicle. And the bed of a pickup truck has always been removable. Why is the bed of a pickup truck specifically removable? Well, because it gets damaged. They get mangled, they get destroyed. So it's just for the survivability, the long-term survivability of the vehicle. You make the bed removable, easily removable, and you just pop another bed on it, and you're done with it, right? So if you're working in the trades, you move on concrete, you move on blocks, whatever it happens to be. You're on a construction site, you're on a farm, whatever it is, damage happens to the bed. Okay, no big deal. Take the bed off, put another bed on. That is what a pickup truck is. All right, so I can't. So Rivian designs this electric pickup truck, right? And the fact that it's electric has nothing to do with it. So well, maybe it does. I don't know. Well, but all you people who are like, he just hates EVs, hold your horses to the next video because I got one coming for you. So Rivian decides that it wants to build a pickup truck, and it wants to have the bed incorporated into the cab of the truck. Okay, well, this is really a bad idea right off the bat, right? Rivian goes one step further, okay? And they make the bed out of aluminum. The bed sides out of aluminum. Okay, this is a bad idea. But then they take it to a whole nother level, right? So they create a bed that flows into the body of the truck, the main body of the truck. They create this thing called the unipanel, all right? The unipanel. So what this is the entire back of the truck, right? Minus the tailgate. So you got the tailgate, and you got the side of the truck with the tail light, and then underneath, like, completely exposed, like not protected, sheet metal under the tail light that sweeps around the side, goes the whole side, and then comes up into the roof, and then extends from the back window of the truck all the way to the windshield. The unipanel. So now what happens is, if there's damage to the bed, the entire truck needs to be disassembled. So this $42,000 taillight repair, and now listen, there's many versions of this. Some people get quoted $37,000, some people $42,000, but the average price is around $40,000, give or take. $40,000 to repair a dent in the bed of a pickup truck. $40,000. You following us? $40,000 to properly repair a dent in the bed of a pickup truck. So the first one that I saw was $42,000. Guy had he just had a minor fender bender, a little bit of a dent under the back of the taillight. The taillight wasn't even damaged. And the result was a $42,000 repair, right? Was quoted to be a $42,000 repair. Now, this guy found a paintless dent removal guy who was able to work the dent out. Took him 2 full days. It's aluminum. It's aluminum on top of that, right? Took him 2 full days to work this dent out. He did masterful work, beautiful work. But he got lucky, the owner of the car got lucky that the sheet metal wasn't distorted enough, the sheet aluminum wasn't distorted enough or torn, ripped, right? And that the dent was just isolated to that one area, and the paintless dent guy was able to get in there, and after 2 days of work, made this thing look very, make it look acceptable. The same thing happened to similar thing happened to fellow YouTuber Rich Rebuilds. Great channel, this guy's fantastic, okay? And he has a Rivian, and he lent it to a friend, and she had an incident that dented the tailgate, the rear quarter. They wanted $37,000 to fix it. He ended up sectioning it, or finding a body shop that would section it and graft in a new back panel. They saved $17,000, which means this was a $20,000 repair on the bed of a pickup truck, a $20,000 repair on a bed of a pickup truck. So a lot of you guys who are watching this may not really understand why this is such a crazy thing, right? We say, well, quarter panels always flow into the roof, right? No, quarter panels flow into the roof, but they're joined in sections. And here, I'll show you on my car over here. This is the perfect example of it. So here's quarter panel, okay, obvious, one piece flows into the roof, right? Except for it has a lap joint. Right here is a lap joint. So this joint, and remember this is all steel, this joint is spot welded together. You can see the spot welds, okay? And this lap joint is where this repair is intended to be done. So if you wanted to change the quarter panel on this, you would take the trim off the back window. You take the back window out to be safe with it. You take this piece of trim off. You drill out those spot welds. You drill out all of the various welds, and you would install a new quarter panel. Everything is fine. Now on the Rivian, with this unipanel, okay, it begins down here under the bumper, okay, wraps around, begins here, and it's the whole side, and it comes up, and it's this whole roof section, okay? That is what comprises the Rivian unipanel. So now, in order to repair this, in order to do a repair on this thing, the entire truck needs to be disassembled. The interior has to come out. The headliner and everything has to come out. The windows have to come out. And just to make it even more interesting, the back window and the spoiler they put over the back window are one-use only items. So in other words, you have a problem, you got to take the back window on a Rivian, throw it away because you can't put it back in. Same thing for the piece that goes above it. What it means is that a minor dent in the bed of a Rivian, repaired the proper way, the way Rivian recommends it be done, is going to be a ballpark $40,000 repair. You want to total a Rivian? Hit the back of it at like 20 miles an hour, okay? Take out both quarter panels and the tailgate, which would normally be, let's say, a $5,000 repair, $6,000 repair on a typical vehicle. No, this is going to total it. You're going to total it. In fact, I have a picture of one that was totaled, which is basically a minor rear end deal. This is beyond absurdity, and it affects everybody, not just people who buy Rivian. Could you imagine telling somebody who's thinking about buying a Rivian, hey, you know what, that's a really nice truck. It's got all of these features, it's beautiful, it's got, but if you have a minor accident, it's going to cost you 40 grand to fix the... Could you imagine who would buy one of these things? Who in their right mind could possibly consider buying one of these things with that knowledge in your head? this affects all of us because this is insurance. The insurance companies don't exist by being nice guys and just giving stuff away, right? No, they have to absorb the cost of these repairs, and this gets passed on to everybody. And this Rivian is just an example. It's like, well, it's a glaring example. It's literally the most absurd thing I've ever heard about with a car, truck, vehicle. Doesn't make any difference. It is beyond absurd. But they're rolling them out every day. I see them. They sell a bunch of them in my area. I'm in Nashville, and I see them on the road. I see them in traffic every day. And I guarantee the people who drive these things have not clue one what it's going to take to repair even a minor incident on these things. And what about resale value? What about resale value? Okay, so you got a dent in the bed of this thing, and you're going to live with it. Now, go to sell it. Go to sell it. And somebody says, well, let me look into what it's going to cost to have this thing fixed. Oh, 40 grand? Yeah, right. You can keep your truck. It is absurdity. And Rivian, the management at Rivian, right? Explain to me how you can let something like this go out into the world. How? Listen to me. Rivian, take the box of crayons away from the engineer who designed this thing and give it to another one, because this guy has no business being around cars. Let him sit in his room and draw pictures of cars, and it'll be completely harmless, right? Take his frickin' crayons away and give it to somebody who's got half a brain in his head. Who approved this? Who looked at this and said, yes, this is a great idea. Let's mass produce these things and send them out into the world? Who came up with this? Yeah, it's great. It's great. And on top of that, so you EV people, I just watched a video this morning. I watched that. My coffee in the morning, and I watch a video, and this is great. There's a parking garage fire in London, all right? It was 1,200 cars went up in flames. I know, that's not funny. That's so funny. It's tragic to anybody who's got to deal with the inconvenience and the loss of their car. I'm not laughing at their misfortune. I'm not laughing at anybody's misfortune. What I'm laughing at is that they have the fire. The fire happens on the top floor of the parking garage, right? So it's, cars that are on fire, and it's like, well, and this is terrible, they're on fire, and it's kind of normal, but, it's like a normal fire. And then they have a video from inside the parking garage on a lower floor, a floor underneath this. And everything's like kind of normal, and then all of a sudden, the ceiling collapses, and this fireball comes through the floor. This fireball comes through the ceiling and smashes onto the floor. Now, what kind of car? You guys tell me, what kind of car could create a fire underneath itself so intense that it will melt through the asphalt or whatever surface, the concrete, whatever surface they have, through the structural metal, everything? What kind of car will burn with such explosive ferocity that it will obliterate the ground underneath it and fall through a parking garage? Nah, that couldn't have been an electric car. There's no way that could have possibly happened. The absurdity continues. I'll see you tomorrow.